It's been a couple of weeks now since we've gotten to come out here in Cabela's Outdoor Adventures, and I've actually missed it. I've been wanting to get back to it, but there were some things with new releases in Call of the Wild that we kind of had to go to first. But we're back today, and we're heading back into the Henry Mountains, and I'm actually excited for this one because the rules say that we can use rifles, and we have 2 tags for Rocky Mountain Mule Deer, and we saw last time how big they can get, and I don't think we're going to settle for really anything less than those non-tips, so hopefully there's at least 2 of them. It's going to cost us 600 in cash to get in here. And I did go ahead and grab the 270s, so if I can remember how to do things.
Let's get out there.
We'll head out and hopefully we can find some good ones. I only see 1 orange icon on the map for now, but there's probably more kind of hiding. Yeah, I mean, that's the first buck we see, and it's just another, like, huge non-typical mule deer. And I mentioned it last time, it just seems like on this difficulty, there's way more just big bucks.
Looking trophy.
Doesn't it usually do a bullet cam? That was kind of weird. It just fell off, but yeah, we'll go and get that guy. Maybe it was because we were too close, because the shots that we took on the Windsor map, I think it was Washington County, were a lot further. These guys will attack, so I'd like him to not do whatever he's doing right now. But let's go and get our mule deer. I want to say the one that we shot last time was like a 10x10, kind of laying on the side of this. But I'm pretty sure every animal you kill ends up in the trophy lodge. He's 441. Drop tines, which I think we determined is like the best you can get. And he's 11x11, so I think he's going to be a little bit bigger. We'll see what it says.
I believe a rabid bobcat has been hurting and killing some of our fawns. Go and put it out of its misery before it can do any more damage.
I wonder if it's intended to give you that mission right after you claim like your first buck? Might have just been really good timing. Is it by chance the crazy one that was running around right in front of us?
This is a high-scoring trophy.
I don't know how we're supposed to know which is the rabid bobcat. And the other thing I don't know, because I've only seen 2 deer. There was the doe that actually happened to be right by the buck when we shot it, and I tracked that one and found it somewhere else, and it ended up here. I don't know if a new buck will spawn, but none of these icons look different, so is it just any bobcat? That's kind of how it was for the elk. I mean, there's nothing else to go on, so let's go for it. Didn't get yelled at, so I assume that's fine. One less bobcat to maybe go after us as we're trying to find a second buck here, because I still, unless there's an icon hidden, like, underneath the green ones up there, which happens, I don't know where another buck's gonna be. Why is that so twisted up? It was a male, so at least maybe we got a good size one?
This trophy can go back to deer country.
Not sure where in the trophy lodge that goes, but the fawns are safe now. Cool. Now there are 2 deer. The orange, if you don't know, are the deer on the mini-map there. So one of them is new, I'm pretty sure, and hopefully one of them is going to have antlers. Well, that guy definitely has antlers. He's another good size one. I want to see if we can maybe get him to come this way a little bit, or at least stand up. I really wonder if he was reacting to the call or if he was just standing up anyway, because that was like immediate. Is he looking this way? I'm not sure, but he's probably coming in. I don't know, that's like a different shape than before. That's actually cool that they're not all the same, because I kind of thought they were, but I am afraid of him spooking. So even though he's behind the brush, we're just gonna drop him there. Usually they say something. It's felt weird so far, like the interaction with the wardens and stuff, and then no bullet cam. I actually kind of like that frame better. I can't tell what's different, but I know that it's not exactly what we just shot. This guy is drop tines as well. We hit him in the head. He's about 100 lower score and a 10x10, so maybe he's the same as the one last time, but definitely not the exact same as what we shot before.
Excellent work. Your hunt in this location is over.
But I want to go back immediately here to, I think they call it deer country, like the trophy lodge, and hopefully one of the mule deer is not hidden behind the brush, so gotta go up a level, and yeah, they're gonna be on the wall there. So there's that guy, which is the 10x10 with the, wait, with the recurve? Did they move them? Is that how that works? This one is shot with the 270, so I guess this just becomes your highest scoring one. I kind of like that they move them around then. That's interesting. And just because we're up here, got our bobcat on this little full body platform. But anyway, we should be moving to a new area. West Klickitat, I don't know where that's going to be. But apparently we're going to be after Colombian black-tailed deer with a muzzleloader. And it's $2 again. And I don't know how big they're going to get. We'll have to go and... I think we got to buy the muzzleloader yet.
Step on in and have a look.
But we'll have to sight that in.
I think you made a real deal here.
And I think we should be set. Our cash is probably good enough to pay for the tags to get there.
See you soon.
So let's go and get that sighted. I'd say we're pretty good. We're something like 2 inches high at 50 yards, which is kind of the farthest we can actually shoot for. And we'll have to sit through the reload animation, which it's actually not too bad for like a 15-year-old game. Maybe a little bit rough around the edges, but they have the basics. They even actually have you put the primer in. There's no like visible primer, but I like that you see it. And we'll have to wheel the target up here, but we should be hitting... Yeah, there's a bunch there just above the bullseye, so we should be set. Not sure exactly which is the last shot, but the important part is we should be good out to like 100 yards, and we needed that more, it seemed like, in Washington County than in the mountains there. But in the mountains, there were a lot more, it felt like set paths almost. So I don't know actually what this map is going to be like, but we'll head out, we'll get our tags here, which is going to almost get us down to 0 in cash. And pretty much straight away here, I would say this map is a little more like Washington County, because in the Henry Mountains, they kind of had it to where there were just paths that were blocked off by either like the big rocks or the mountains themselves, where it was not only that we couldn't go a lot of different locations, the deer were kind of stuck on those paths as well, so it might be more open here. But the thing I'm actually most interested in seeing is how big are these blacktail going to be? Because I know Cabela's tends to make blacktail look a lot like mule deer, and I'm curious if they're going to be like the same size or if they're actually going to be like kind of smaller like they should be. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. That's pretty much exactly what I would expect like a decent sized blacktail to be. And we got nice and close here, so should be fine with the muzzleloader at that range.
Grab my tape measure.
He got kind of ragdolled forward pretty far. But we're going to be stuck reloading here super quick, and I'm curious. For one, it's the same as the Henry Mountains. There's only like one deer icon, so we're going to have to go and see what shows up after this. But I'm curious if this is going to be like the bigger of the two that we got to get, or where this ends up going. By the way, I'm almost certain that there is a raccoon hunting mission with the muzzleloader. I seem to remember that. Or maybe it was just on the map that has the muzzleloader. I feel like I had to do it at some point as a kid, but that one even is a non-typical, so in theory they should get a little bit bigger. I don't know how he's only 48 total score. That seems odd when the mule deer were going to like 400. But
A salmon run has started. Go out and catch some if you can in the time allowed.
okay. I'm gonna catch 10 in under an hour. 10's a lot, but
Congratulations.
I wanted to do
It's a
all
new
these.
high score.
I think the map shows the fishing locations. Yeah, so straight down south of us here. We'll try it. I don't know how to fish in this game. I don't know that I ever did it. So, let's see how this goes. It's taken a couple of minutes here, but I think I have this all put together now. It's actually a lot more complicated than fishing in Alaskan Adventures, but if we can get one to bite, that's how we hook it. And then W and S is how we actually bring them in. I guess when it's red in the top right, we have to reel out, and green we reel in. That part seems to be easier. So hopefully all we gotta do is bring this guy in now. I believe getting the white line at the bottom here is gonna actually catch him. Alright, we got one. 8.8 pound silver salmon. It actually does not look too bad. I swear this game is like as old as Alaskan Adventures, but a lot of things seem a little bit better. But I mean, we gotta do this 10 times. Does eating it do anything for us? I have no idea. But yeah, there's not gonna be a whole lot different at this point, so we'll just try to catch 10. Probably about the only thing that I'll actually show during this is any bigger ones. So this guy's 15.4 pounds. That is definitely a bigger one. I like how they show the nutrition value. I don't have a clue, like, what they do for us. Does throwing it back mean I could catch it again? We gotta catch 10 of them. I don't want to throw back the biggest one. We can't keep it or, like, put it in the lodge. I don't know. I don't think it matters. As long as I've counted correctly, this should be fish number 9. And I hope so, because it's a lot less interesting than fishing in Alaskan Adventures. It's just super repetitive, but another 8.8. I've only seen like 4 or 5 different weights, so they're pretty much a couple of presets. I do kind of think that 15.4 is the max, because we've had 3 of those, but usually this takes about 2 casts, and then we can hook another one. And again, if I've counted correctly, we should just need 1 more, and we can be done with the fishing mission, which really I don't think does anything for us, but if there's anything that I learned in Alaskan Adventures, I regretted not doing some of those kind of side missions. That is the most frustrating sound. It's almost the same pattern with these guys too, like where you have to start reeling out. I think this is going to be the last bit of reeling in we have to do. This is going to go one more time. Yeah, right there. So some of them seem to do that one, some don't. But like I said, quite repetitive. But anyway, I think, yeah, that's fish number 10. That is another 8.8. But it says something about being a true fisherman. Guess we'll eat that one. And I think, because it says that, we should be good. Should have completed that. He didn't say anything, but I'm going to assume it did. And I actually see a new deer icon, so I was hoping, I don't know if actually going and fishing had anything to do with it, but I was hoping we might get a new deer to spawn as we did that and waited. And whether or not that has anything to do with it, I don't know, but seems there's a new deer out here. Okay, that guy is way bigger than the first one we shot. So I guess they do get kind of similar size to the mule deer. It's not nearly as wide, which is realistic, but they definitely get pretty big. I'm sure the muzzleloader could take him at that angle, but I'd like him to, at the very least, turn broadside. And if we could, it'd be nice to, like, kind of call him in this way and get a better look at him. Because I don't know if we're going to get the same thing that we got with the mule deer, where our biggest one's like jumping through the brush and you can't even see it. So I'd like to, if we can, get a better look at that rack, because I know for a fact, like, I had seen the non-typical mule deer rack when I played as a kid, because I used to like spawn mash the desert mule deer one for the albino. I don't think I ever saw a blacktail this big. I don't remember them getting that impressive. But he's just walking away. I think rather than lose him there, we'll probably try this. Thing is, we're not going to even be able to see him there. Can we get to the side? Because it kind of opens up. Might get a shot in through there. I can see him. See if we can get this. Thing is, it is the muzzleloader, but that dropped him. I don't get why all of a sudden they're not saying anything to us, and we're not getting any bullet cam. I didn't change any settings, but that guy was actually nice. That was a good sized blacktail. So, didn't need to reload that, but we can't actually stop him from doing it. But I at least hope he kind of landed where we can get a good look at him, and we might be able to see him better in the lodge. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of like a mini version of the big mule deer we shot. Probably bigger than the whitetail. He is only 59 score. He looks way bigger. The drop time, so again, like the biggest variant, and he's an 11 by 11. I can't see, I don't get the score thing. I really don't, because he's a 176 total length of points. There's nothing in here. I mean, it says range and reputation, whatever that means. I don't know what that does to the overall score, but I think it's still a high score anyway.
This is a new high score for this species.
And that should be wrapping up this hunt, so we might actually go into the lodge again.
Finished this season.
And since we had to go into this screen anyway to switch our equipment around, super quickly, we'll go and find our blacktail in here. That's the first one we shot, which it says it's a non-typical. I'm not sure where, but that's like a good looking blacktail. I like that a lot, actually. But then our other one, for one, there's way more mass, and I do wish you could really move around this trophy lodge, or at least kind of like click and drag back and forth to look around them. But I like that. I know it's not like the most realistic graphics or anything, but I like the fact that they get huge but not completely unbelievable. I feel like that's maybe somewhere in the area of world record non-typical blacktail, but it doesn't look like something that could never happen. But anyway, we've got our 270. We have 3 deer to kill, and the good news is, at least, buck or doe, whatever we find here, we can actually take to begin with. I thought that kind of looked like a deer. So I'm trying to get across the water here just to get up to where it looks like most of the deer are. But if we can just get our doe tag filled now, that would be ideal. Since she's just chilling there.
Grab my tape measure.
Not sure we're going to need that for a doe, but whatever works. When I saw initially that we were going to be hunting like in the snow, I was actually pretty excited because for one, it can kind of increase your visibility. Why is that one 101 as a doe and our huge buck that we shot's 59? I don't understand the difference.
This is a new high score for this species.
But anyway, I like the environment, like hunting in the snow, and just in general it can help you see a little bit better, like seeing the deer's darker body on the white background. But you can't run as fast anywhere that there's snow. If we can find like enough of a dirt patch, even right there, you can see we run a little bit faster across that. So it slows us down a bit, and I feel like a lot of this stuff kind of gets edited out, just kind of the searching for the deer and trying to figure out where they are. So these videos are probably shorter than Alaskan Adventures because there's less actual hunting going on and there's not some random animal attacking us every like 5 minutes. But they actually take a good bit longer because finding the deer is definitely more difficult, and it's because we're on a higher difficulty, I'm sure. But I like the added challenge of there's only a couple of deer out here and finding them is definitely not easy. What the heck? Is this like a side mission?
This hunter needs immediate medical attention. Get him back to the cabin before it's too late.
Okay. I definitely never had this happen before. Oh, I guess he's just in the vehicle now? Yeah, he's just sitting in the passenger seat. So it said to get back to the cabin. Question is, where is that? Oh, way down there, naturally. How do I get across the water? This will be interesting. Well, that's probably not good.
Nice driving, hotshot.
Thanks. I hope this is the cabin that we actually had to get him back to. Oh. Saved his life. Great. So, my life's not going so good because we flipped over back there. I don't know that I have a med kit, so we're gonna have to be careful. But it did seem like there were a lot of deer over there in that area. Getting back may take some time, actually. I'd say the smart decision is to drive over. Hopefully we don't die in the process. That guy might actually be bigger than the other one we just shot. You can see that we're hurting a lot here, and one thing that it's done is make our stamina drop just super quickly. So I'm forced to move around really slow, and one thing that has helped with is sneaking around and not spooking a buck that's just bedded here. And really it came down to checking the map because I can see there's not a lot of room to our west, and knowing the direction he was in and that there's a big mountain in the way, I figured he must have been over here. But the thing is, getting a shot in there, I can't really see him. Let's see if we can get him to turn around. Well, he stood up at least. I don't know if that means he's gonna come in or if he might spook, but all I need is like a decent look at where I'm aiming. I actually think he's coming in. That's... I don't know. I can't figure out the scoring in this game, but the width has to have a huge effect on what he scores. I want to make sure I'm actually crouching and don't send him running. He's like right there. He needs to take like 1 or 2 more steps. Well, not that direction necessarily, but that'll work. Getting around here is not the most fun because we can run a little further than from here to the deer, and then we start to run out of stamina, but that's a really nice looking buck. He's 168, so compared to the other one, which I thought was huge, he's way bigger. This one's only non-typical though, not drop tines, so maybe drop tines isn't always the best. I thought it was. This guy's a 15 point. Well, wasn't the other one 11 by 11 though? I really don't understand it, but this guy in theory should be a high scorer.
This is a high-scoring trophy.
And he definitely is. I didn't think I'd be saying this, but that might be an even bigger blacktail, and it's kind of down to the same thing. I've just had to stop and rest a bunch, and he just came walking up from the right. They make like a little bit of a snort wheeze sound, and I heard that, so I sat still and waited, and just what might legitimately be a bigger buck walked out. I think he's got more mass, so we'll be careful with this. Keep it nice and low. And somehow, despite the fact that we are seriously not doing well on health, as long as nothing catastrophic happens in the last, like, 15 yards here and over to him, we will have actually gotten through this hunt. So, I'm curious, 159, I believe, was our high score on the other one. This guy almost looks like just a huge typical. He is a typical, and he's 164. That's actually cool. So, I don't know, is that maybe specific to Blacktail? He's a 16 point, so bigger than the last one as far as, like, total number of tines. But maybe it is possible that just there's a bunch of high scoring racks for all of them, and drop tines isn't just like the best you can get. I like that.
Excellent work. Your hunt in this location is over.
So that was 3 hunts already in this video, and I say already, but that actually took about 2 hours. So I said I know it's going to end up looking like easier in these videos just because a lot of the searching for the deer gets cut out, but it's a lot of just slowly moving around trying to get them. But I do want to see, that is our big drop tine buck. So that means then the typical should be in that full body spot. I don't know why they mount the does, but I guess that's no big deal. Actually, that's the typical, I'm pretty sure. Should be, yeah, 164. I don't know then how they choose what goes where, but that is the big wide non-typical. I actually like that. I kind of like he's the one there. Honestly, I don't know that we're going to get a better room in this trophy lodge. We got all these huge mule deer, the bobcat. Now, I don't know what else can go here. Like, there were mountain goats on that map, but never an opportunity to hunt them. So I don't know what the empty plaques are. Maybe you can go back. I have no idea, but I'm really happy with the way that video went. We got a lot of good-sized deer, and every time I thought we got as big as we could, we just ended up doing better. But one thing I wanted to actually ask you guys is, do you want to see more of the fishing if there's like future fishing missions? Because to me it was pretty repetitive, but maybe you guys actually want to see that, so let me know in the comments about that. And yeah, hope you guys are enjoying this game as much as I am. I'm looking forward to getting back to it. That was, I think I said it at the beginning, 3 weeks for me since I played this game, and I was so looking forward to getting back to it, and it lived up to the hype. I had a really good time today seeing deer like this walking around. Like I said, they're not the best looking, like, graphically, but it's still, because they're like that realistic size where they're not impossibly huge, it still is actually kind of fun to go after them. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.